Today's video, we're going to talk about how to make differentiators for your business, which make your ad campaigns that you're trying to run crush it, or do a hell of a lot better than what you're going to have without any kind of specific differentiator. Now, differentiators can be on the level of the product or service itself, which I'm not talking about in this video, or it can actually be layered on top. You take something that you didn't necessarily think is a differentiator, and you specifically make it. A mattress that's good for side sleeping, which it's also good for back sleeping and stomach sleeping. You talk it up on the side sleeping level, or you actually take something you're offering and make it into a 200% money back guarantee, which makes it different. Or you offer a guarantee to give somebody a gift card if it doesn't deliver XYZ result, which makes it different in and itself. Now, naturally, having your product or service be on a core level better is a much better route to go. So these cheesy gimmicks, but gimmick or no gimmick, you can make way, way more money on your ad campaigns when you have something specific to talk about that's different, that your audience actually gives a shit about. And that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video, specifically with these 4 case studies that I'm going to go through here, where we did this for different clients that we work with or encourage them to actually let us do this, and how you can replicate these kind of same results or lift in profitability from your ads that you're going to get once you do it for yourself. So with that said, stay to the end of the video so how to bolt this onto your own company's campaigns as well. Before I get into the content though, if you don't know who I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients on their ad campaigns. We do not charge fees until we can get our client a certain minimum lift ads profitability up front, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that you're receiving on today's video. So with that said, getting into the content here, the main thing you should always do as a business is find out what people actually want out of your market. And the best way that I have actually found to do that is to actually read your competitors' customer reviews. Your competitors' reviews are the single best source of information that I have found to make your company better than it already is right now. Why is that? Because you can use it to make your product or service different or legitimately better. That is, you work in more features to the product, more features to the service, how you deliver the service, doing it differently, or what have you. Or, like I was mentioning before, you can actually sweeten up your ad copy of what you say your product or service can do to more focus in on what people are going to care about, and do it on such a wild level that A, your competitors aren't going to be willing to do, but B, will make sure your ads get clicked through at 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times the rate that they were before, because you actually said something that's worth saying. Ultimately, people are generally too scared to say something outrageous about their product or service, like offering a 200% money back guarantee, because they're so worried about what could go wrong, they don't think about the upside. And then what they end up doing as a result of that is just doing what everybody else is doing. And they see their other competitor running ads on Google, and they say, oh, they're running ads on Google, I just got to run ads on Google then, and then I'm going to be able to be successful like them. But they don't see that it took them 5 to 10 years of building up the results that they got. And at the whole first year they ran their ads, it didn't even make money for them after expenses just to get into the game, right? That then itself is their edge. That is their differentiator. So if you're going to go heads up against someone like that who's already been advertising for years, know that your ads, because it doesn't have that age advantage where you've collected a bunch of data, what works, what doesn't work, what works versus what doesn't work. Also allowed the algorithm to see how to run your ads, and the ads actually are good. If they are good, you're always going to start out with a major disadvantage. So if that's you and you want it about money, you could throw a bunch of money at your ads, and eventually through process of elimination, you'll find out who wants to buy, what's the 5% of the market, which is a freaking grand slam prospect for you, and then you can make money from it. Or you can actually just get some freaking balls and come up with an offer that's going to get people's attention over the competitor's offer. Because when you're talking about Google ads, at least, there's 4 ads to pick from at the top of Google. If you just say what they're saying, they win, because their ads have the advantage of knowing where the ad should show up in front of versus not. And then on top of that, Google actually plays favorites. And if they don't know who you are, they're going to send you the person who's less likely to convert, because they want to give the person most likely to convert to the guy who's advertising a long time with them, that they know helps their users at a high level. That is, the site converts well. People don't go back to Google to click on something else and get frustrated, which makes them less likely to click on ads in the future. There's two ways to skin a cat, basically. You can either throw enough money at your ads so eventually the algorithm finds you your customers, and then even then, it's still only going to give you half the profit your competitor's making, because the customer's got to come from somewhere. Or you figure out an offer that your competitors aren't willing to do, but you are, and potentially just make money right away because you actually had some bravery and doing something for the market that the market didn't already have, which is what everybody should be doing ultimately. At the end of the day, I say balls. I mean, entrepreneurship is about finding untapped demand and finding a way to deliver that product or service to fill that basic hole in the market. People anymore, because of things like Google ads, think, I'm just going to be a plumber and I don't have to be different. I just have to be where people are looking for a plumber and I'm good. And again, because everybody else wants to do the same thing and everybody knows what Google ads is, you're going to end up with a small fraction of the return you think you're going to get at the beginning. Because if it were easy to just start up an ad and bang, you're making money, everybody else would have already been doing it. Nothing valuable is going to be that easy in life. The only thing that can help you defy that is you think of a way to do it different. And that's what the offer is about. And that's frankly the easiest way to do it. So with that said, you read your competitors' reviews. Those reviews will tell you everything you basically need to know. Assuming you're in an established market, you're not the first one selling a product that nobody else has ever sold before, which that applies to like 3% of you guys watching. You read the reviews and it tells you what you need to do. Before you even make a product or service, you should be actually reading the reviews before you even start the company. So on what foundation should you exist in the market in the first place? Find something that you can actually do in your market that will deliver what isn't already currently being delivered and what people want. That said, however, if you've already been in the market, you can't reverse the product that you've developed. You can't go backwards. You can't go back on it. Then you use the reviews to figure out how to spice up what you have, like I was mentioning before. And with that, the case studies that I'm about to share will give you really good examples of how to actually do that for your product or service if you're struggling with your ads right now or aren't happy with your return. If you're not getting the return you want, it'll get you much more return, figuring this out and applying it to your business. If you're already getting a good return, it'll make it better. So with that said, the first example that I'm going to give you here is for a mortgage broker that we worked with. And I'd like to do this on every client campaign that I worked on. Most people won't let us do it because they're scared to do it, which is why it works. I could tell every single person in your market, let's say, that offering a 200% money back guarantee will make sure you get 50% market share in your market. And I can already tell you from experience, less than 10% of people would be willing to do it because they have no guts. They think something wrong will happen. And because nobody else is doing it, it's not safe. When it comes to advertising, if you do what everybody else is doing, you're going to get returns, if returns at all. I can tell you from experience, this is a small side before I get into this, most people who run ads that you see aren't even making a profit. And you may say, well, how could that possibly be? They've been advertising a long time. A lot of people have customers coming in, repeat business from old customers. They have organic traffic. The ads themselves don't make money on paper. And you may say, well, why would they be willing to run a loss with their ads? They don't even have the tracking set up right. They don't even know they're not making money. 70% of people accounts that I audit, whether it's Facebook or Google, they don't have their tracking set up right to measure what they got itself. And then even if they are tracking, they don't know what a lifetime value of a customer is. So they don't know what they can pay for a customer. So you're competing against people who are basically oblivious to not making money and willing to spend more. They're willing to lose money to get the customer. And so you're competing against somebody who's willing that has nothing to lose, essentially. So that's what you're basically up against. So with that said, you're competing against people who don't make money and you want to do what they're doing, which is going to make you lose money. You got to figure out a way to be better. You can be better by making better ads, better landing pages. You can make a better product or service, like I said, directly. Or you can figure out a way to make what you have sound different in terms of how it's marketed itself, which is what this is about. And frankly, it's the cheapest and quickest way to do it. Not the easiest. The easiest would be to make your ads and your website convert better, because that's all straightforward stuff that I talk about on this channel all the time. But that in itself takes a long time to do and implement. And even when you implement the ad systems, that is LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, it's going to take time to see it's good and give you credit for it with lower cost per click, better chunk of the high quality traffic. With the offer, once you come up with a good offer, you can slap that on your ad and make money like that, which is why you should consider it first. The mortgage broker we talked about, we convinced him to do, because after reading all the reviews, if I'm tasked to start working with a new client, I'm thinking about angles on what we put on our ad as far as ad copy to have our edge so we can guarantee the results. We're going to look at the customer reviews. And in that market, there's usually one thing that people want more than anything else in that market. And you may say, well, we can't deliver that. Or you could just get creative and figure out how to way to deliver it, knowing it's problematic, but because you're going to get 5 times the click-through rates the other guys are getting, you justify it. Giving people a free $50 Outback Steakhouse gift card, $100 Outback Steakhouse gift card to anybody who did not get the best mortgage rate in that particular market absolutely crushed it. After reading the reviews, it's pretty much clear. When it comes to a mortgage, people are just looking for the best rate. Whoever can give me the best rate and get me approved. So if everybody just wants the best rate, and that's the one thing that decides if they're going to go with one person over another, why not just give them the best rate? Okay, well, I can't give them a best rate. Well, then what do you do then? Easy. You promise them that you're going to give them the best rate, and if you can't give them the best rate, you give them a $100 Outback Steakhouse gift card, knowing you don't have the best rate, but they're going to assume it's the best rate, because how would somebody have the guts to say something like that if they didn't really normally have the best rate? Which you could call it misleading, but you're not misleading anybody. You're just saying legitimately, hey, we'll give you a gift card if you don't have the best rate. You're not implying anything other than that. I mean, of course, they're assuming elsewise, but you're not lying, at least. So you have on your ad copy, like we did on Google, we ran display campaigns all over the place, YouTube ads, any place somebody would be looking for a mortgage or in market for a mortgage, we advertise with this offer. Guaranteed lowest interest rate upcoming mortgage. Get a $100 Outback Steakhouse gift card if we do not have the lowest rate. That message is so simple, and it focuses on what people care about. So the first part of this is you got to know what people care about, and then 2, you got to find a way to give it to them. And sometimes giving it to them is just how you word it. We didn't change our interest rate. We just worded what we did differently. And yes, some people come back and get a gift card. It was less than 1 in 10 people who came in as a lead who wanted the gift card. And the click-through rate increase that we got was over 3x what we started out with without having that offer. Okay? And more importantly, it allowed us to run ads outside of Google and make it profitable. Because when you try to run an ad on YouTube for somebody who's researching mortgage brokers, like how to hire a mortgage broker, stuff like that, and your ad says, we do mortgages, come deal with us. Nobody gives a rat's ass about your message. People would just love to do that because it's not scary. We can't screw up the delivery of the service. Being boring with your advertising is completely pointless. However, this really interesting offer that nobody else has the guts to offer was ballsy enough, interesting enough, that it actually got people to click through the ad. And did very well with that. Targeting people that are in market for a mortgage, people that have searched for mortgage brokers recently on Google, people that were watching videos about mortgage brokers on YouTube. We advertise banner ads on sites about mortgage brokers as well. So all of that. And with that said, in order to get display ads, that is non-search engine ads, to work in most markets, you got to have an offer unless that product you're selling is interesting in and itself. It's a new pioneering, game-changing technology. Otherwise, if you're just doing something that's been done already and that you can go to Google and find 10 people doing the same thing in 10 seconds, you need to have an offer. Okay, and this differentiator, which you got to be able to invent out of thin air, like we did with this particular client and particular market. So with that said, by the way, before I get into the rest of these, if you want somebody to come up with an offer for you, this is what I do. Reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com, and I'll be more than happy to hook you up with something. I can guarantee you get such and such results on your campaigns before we take any management fees along with that. Or you can always leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. As a side to that, if you're in a market that we've already worked in, I'll tell you how to get the results we did in that particular market. We can give you the offer, everything. We sell it as a package, the campaign, the offer, the landing page template, all of it for a one-time fee. And we've worked in over 100 different niche markets. So the chances are high we've already got you the results that you're looking for in your market. So if you're interested in that, you should reach out as well. Going back to what I was saying here, the next example I wanted to give you is Mattress Company. So we had a mattress company selling mattresses. It's one of those ones that you can get shipped to your door, the bed in a box, if you will. And with that, read all the customer reviews, started making notes as to what people were complaining about in terms of the competitors' reviews. Interesting thing about reviews is people also talk about what they were interested in before they bought. Hey, before I bought this mattress, I was looking for products that had X. That's the diamond in the rough information in and itself. What you do, like we did here, is you should start taking notes. You read all the reviews. Okay, person said this, another person said this, another person said this, and then you start putting tallies next to each one. Okay, 2 people said this, 3 people said this, and then you rank stack it, and then you then know what you need to focus on in your ad copy and what you need to invent in order to get people to click on your ad first, or in general, if they saw it out in the wild, while being in market for a product like that already. So with that said, we found the main thing that people like to talk about is they want a mattress for side sleeping. They wanted a specific mattress for side sleeping that was good for sleeping on your side, specifically. This mattress was good for sleeping on your side, but also it's okay sleeping like for other positions too, okay? So what most people would do is try to say this mattress is good for everything, which is dumb. The better approach would be to find out, okay, 50% of people sleep on their side, so we should actually, if we're going to talk about anything, talk about this mattress is good for sleeping on the side. Yes, you're going to alienate the other half of the users, but the half that do sleep on their side, you're going to get 5 times the click-through rate on your ad from those people because you're speaking their exact language. That's the type of arbitrage that you want to do with what you're doing and through using your competitors' reviews. So our ad copy could say, #1 product in the market for side sleepers. That got our click-through rate to go sky high because the high percentage of people who normally sleep on their side. And that was on our prospecting ad that we ran on Facebook as well. I set up a really good funnel for that. So that was the initial ad. Once they click on the ad, then a whole bunch of other remarketing ads, focusing in on the other things people said were important in the reviews. That the mattress was durable, it won't trap heat, and a few other things. And that's what you should do to be really effective, actually, at the end of the day. You want the offer, and then you want to have, okay, what are the other 4 things they care about that are lesser but still important? Let's make an ad for that, and then 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 have that cycle out in the background once they get to your site the first time, and then you really are getting to be effective at that point in time. So that's what we did there. We get a 5-to-1 return on our ad spend on Google and Facebook with that. Whereas before, Google wouldn't work at all, and Facebook didn't work half as what it did once we focused on, let's get rid of everything else and just say we're a side sleeping mattress, okay? So that's a perfect example how you could take a product that you don't think is specialized in doing something, but make it specialized. As a small side, by the way, if you watched Mad Men, that TV show about 1960s advertising firm where they talk about different ad pitches and all that, and one of the things that Lucky Strike cigarettes did that pulled them out of a sales a valley in their sales was they start talking about how their cigarettes were toasted. You can go look this episode up on YouTube. The advertising exec pitched to the Lucky Strike from Lucky Strike there, this, mentioning how the cigarettes are toasted. And the Lucky Strike employee said, yeah, but all cigarettes are toasted. And he said, doesn't matter. It sounds good, basically. And that's all we need is to tap into something that sounds good to the user that other people aren't already talking about. And then we'll now have something that's effective as an ad, which is why the side sleeping ad thing worked. Yes, other mattresses are good at side sleeping, but does anybody else focus on side sleeping by itself? No. So when they go to look at 4 ads on the top of Google, the ad that says side sleeping on it gets my attention right away. Same thing with a Facebook ad. Who gives a shit you're selling a mattress? I've seen 4 other mattresses just like this. Oh, it's a side sleeping mattress? Great. So with that said, that's what you need to do. Now, the next thing on the list here is aviation sunglasses. So we had a company who sold sunglasses for pilots. And when I say aviation sunglasses, I'm not talking about people think they're cool while wearing aviation sunglasses. No, I mean actual pilots. Okay? Reading the reviews there, the number one thing is that people want to get rid of glare. Okay? So out of anything else, that's the focus. So we knew right away what to put in our ad copy. Okay? So that once you get that out of the way, like I said, part 2 of the plan is you got to know what to say so people know you mean business. In that particular case, and I had to pull teeth to be able to do this, but we got finally the client convinced that, because the client initially wanted to do a 100% money back guarantee. And I'm like, that's stupid. Every company out there offers a 100% money back guarantee. You can return the freaking product and get your money back. That's a 100% money back guarantee. You're not fooling anybody. Finally convinced him to do a 200% money back guarantee after the ads were scaling up as fast as he wanted with the 100% money back guarantee, which I love that, by the way. When clients don't listen to me and then they complain about the results, and then I say, I told you this will work better, and then you've got to finally get them to do it, and they're like, oh, now I understand. But people, I get it. They're scared. They don't want to offer a 200% money back guarantee because they think people are going to scam them. But people usually only make bold moves in their life when they feel like their back is against the corner. People quit jobs when they have no other choice but to quit their job. And really, it's good for them to quit their job and look for something else. They never do it because they're so afraid of what they're losing that they disregard what the upside is. With that said, if your campaign's going to fail unless you do a bold offer, a lot of times that's what it takes. So anyway, we offered a 200% money back guarantee, and that changed everything about this client's campaign. It was slowly building up traction in terms of sales, advertising on Google. When we switched to 200% money back guarantee on being on the ad and then heavily prominent on the landing pages that we were taking people to, the results went crazy. We were getting about 100% ROAS on a return on ad spend at the time before we switched over to the 200% money back guarantee. Within just 90 days of running this new offer, we had it up over a 400% ROAS on our ad spend already, which would have went nowhere near that if we didn't switch over to having that offer. Why? Because people knew it was the best anti-glare pilot glasses when we offered that. And when we didn't offer that, they didn't know that it was, or didn't believe it, or didn't want to believe it. And then it's really just going to be down to who has the best looking website, because that's what they're going to judge it on, unless you're going to make a bold offer like that. And what I told them initially, this particular client, what I told them was, even if somebody asks for their money back, you can shut the offer down. I know, because I've done multiple 200% money back guarantees before, that not nearly as many people are going to ask for their money back as you think. Even the people who didn't so-called get results or thought they got results, because they're going to have forgot about what the damn ad said a week later when they get the product in the mail. And then it's usually a week to get the product, and then it's going to be another week or two before they try it. They're going to have completely forgotten everything you said on that ad to get their sale, to get the purchase. And let's say even 10% want double their money back. Ultimately, you have to give them their money back twice, if you will. Work it into your model. The math works out if, and at least in that case, if less than 10% of people ask for double their money back, the campaign's successful when we're already getting over a 4-to-1 return on our ad spend, given the cost of the product is very low. We're talking about 20% of the cost of the product is cost of goods, newer technology, and we were able to sell it for a lot of money with a high markup due to the intellectual property involved. With that said, it's all just numbers. At the end of the day, you don't be emotional about it. You try bold things because bold things is what gets the big results. And if it doesn't work, just stop doing it. Oh, maybe they'll come back years later asking for a guarantee, which is basically what this client said. And I just rolled my eyes and then we didn't do it. At our own firm, we offer a guarantee for our clients. And I still get people on this channel all the time commenting, how do you offer a guarantee when they don't have good products sometimes and they don't have this or that? And you get screwed sometimes. I mean, I'm completely honest about that. But the amount of attention the firm gets when we offer what everybody wants makes up for it. So many companies could be using this, but people just don't really have any balls, so they don't do it. And it would be the one thing that changed their entire business, offering a simple guarantee. So with that said, I'm going to move on. We had a roofing company also that we work with. And in that market, after reading the reviews enough, we realized what people want is a roof they can afford, because roofs are like 15 grand nowadays. And if they didn't buy a roof already, it's because they didn't have the money to buy it. And people, at least if you're going to show up out of nowhere on YouTube or Facebook, what you ideally want is somebody who needs a roof but couldn't afford it. So in that case, what do? How can we make them afford it or know that they can afford it? That without changing the price of our roof, without doing anything really. We offer a roof on a monthly installment plan, which other roofing companies have financing, but they don't market it like we marketed it. At least in the market we were in down south. New roof, only $89 a month. Just fill out this form. Ran ads on YouTube and Facebook both, as well as on Demand Gen. YouTube and on Demand Gen, anybody interested in a roof or been researching roofs had this. It did get some results marketing to the general public. As many people needing roofs out there in the general public would get some leads, but it did really well for anybody who's researched about roof leaks and stuff like that in the recent past. On Facebook, it really was blasted out there to just the general public using lead gen ads, and it worked well there as well. We were generating leads for like $50 a piece, which in the roofing space, it's extremely good. Closing at least 1 in 10 of those leads, which it would have been more if everybody would have been approved. But out of every third lead you get a person with really good credit that can actually apply. But we're not doing what everybody else would do that heard about this, which, forget a roof for $89 if you have good credit. No, just stop talking about that. Set up a robust process that you could just run everybody's credit, because you're going to get people saying, well, I don't know if I got good credit, or I only have a 720. I'm not going to apply to this ad, and just talk themselves out of the results, basically. So anyway, that was a perfect example of how to do this in a boring niche where you don't have room to change your pricing to be able to have something that's actually interesting to respond to. I'm not going to go into a ton of other examples here because we could be here all week, but we've done game offers where we would show it for a car dealership, a jar full of keys. And we would say, if you can guess how many keys are in here, we'll give you a new car. And you get a ton of leads, and then we would just follow up with them. You applied for our new car contest, so you need a new car, and then just work the leads. And you have to work 100 leads to get one good prospect on the hook, but it's very, very inexpensive to get leads that way. We've done for physical furniture stores where we had a basketball hoop set up, and we would say, if you can actually make 20 in 30 seconds, we'll actually give you a mattress for 80% off. And then people would come into the store, and of course it drove a whole bunch of foot traffic that you got to be able to do if you're going to make really good results with ads, because ad space is really expensive nowadays online. It's not like back in the day where you could be average advertising and make a killing. Nowadays you can be able to be ultra interesting, running a contest, making an irrefutable guarantee, making an ad that looks like a customer reviewing your product, which is really an ad, which we do all the time now. Whether you pay a news station to talk about your product and that's your ad, which we do all the time now, you got to be able to be exciting anymore in order to really do well with ads, particularly outside of search engines. But even on search engines, you shouldn't just settle for, hey, we're a mortgage company, do business with us, because that's so lame and you're only going to get a small fraction of the results you're going to could get otherwise. I've got a ton of other techniques like that, like I just mentioned, on this channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, you should, because all that information is going to help you make millions of dollars a year running ads for your business, in addition to what you already have, or just get you there. It's no secret on how to make ads work. I've been running ads for 20 years now and worked on hundreds and hundreds of different campaigns and markets. And I lay out everything that works on this channel. So if you're going to pay attention to anything, and that's your goal, you should subscribe to this channel. You should also check out my blog on my site as well at guaranteedppc.com/blog, because the blog has even better information than what we have on this channel here as well. So with that said, ultimately, this should at least be able to get you started in coming up with your own offer, and specifically why you would want to do it. For the roofing company example, like I mentioned, specifically doing the search ads, we were able to knock the lead cost down from about $180 a lead on Google search down to about $135 a lead just by being able to put that in the app. But the more important headliner should be here that we were able to get demand gen campaigns to work. We were able to get YouTube campaigns to work. We were able to get Facebook campaigns to work because we came up with an ultra interesting offer. And that's going to be the main upside, because 90% of the money we were making was not search ads. It's way more scalable to run ads outside of Google search. It really is a shame how most people just rely on Google search ads and they leave everything else out of the equation because it's a little bit difficult to figure out how to get it to work. What if they just figured out an offer that would work? They'd be 10 times as successful. So anyway, with that said, I think I'm pretty much going to wrap it up with that. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.
Remember when I said ad campaigns was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.